Australia is a huge country. It's bigger than the whole of Europe. Most of Australia's population live in cities around the red dots on this map. Between the red dots are thousands of kilometres of almost empty space. This is called the Outback. There are lots of industries, such as farming and mining, where people live and work in the Australian Outback. Some of them live hundreds of kilometres away from the nearest town. Working in the country comes with its own dangers. Common accidents in the Outback include injuries caused by motorbikes or quad bikes, farm machinery, snake bites, as well as the normal illnesses that affect everybody, like the flu or toothache. They rely on the Royal Flying Doctor Service to provide treatment or airlift them to hospital in emergency situations. In the days before the flying doctors, people in the Outback would have to travel long distances by road to get medical help. Sometimes it took many days to get to a doctor. Often the patient died on the way. But in 1928, a man called John Flynn founded the Royal Flying Doctor Service to help bring medical care to people who lived in the Outback. And he believed that planes could be used to achieve it. A businessman called Hugh Victor Mackay, who, like John Flynn's idea, left a large sum of money to help him buy the first airplanes for use by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. The service was so successful that it grew, and before long there were flying doctor planes taking off in every corner of the Outback. John Flynn's idea had taken wings, and he remains a significant Australian figure whose portrait is featured on the $20 bill. As Flynn had envisaged, there were many benefits to a medical service where the doctor can come to the patient. People who are sick or injured can be treated anywhere. In order to visit a patient, the Royal Flying Doctor Service planes need a safe runway to land. In the early days of the service, farmers would make temporary runways and use reflective surfaces to guide the planes. If there was nowhere to land, the doctors would fly to the nearest airstrip and use cars, horses or camels to get to the patients. There were many disadvantages to using these slower methods of transport. Airplanes also needed to be able to refuel. In this photograph we can see a local man using a camel to bring fuel to the Royal Flying Doctor Service plane. Today most farms and small towns have their own landing strip, but it doesn't mean that landing is always easy. Before the plane can land, the Outback workers have to do a roo run, chasing the kangaroos from the landing strip. Fly-in, fly-out clinics mean that the Royal Flying Doctor Service will visit a town without a resident doctor to do a general checkup and provide vaccinations for children. Because there are no doctor surgeries, they operate out of large buildings, in this case a library. Often the flying doctors travel with a dentist who checks the whole town's teeth. As John Flynn said, the Royal Flying Doctor Service has a waiting room of 71.5 million square kilometres.